Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I just hope that members are all here, and welcome to the department and to the members in this beautiful afternoon. And
okay,
can you hear me?
yes, I'm back. Thank you.
Okay. We have already in a bit started with the meeting. We can continue with the meeting. Are we a quorum?
Yes, we are, Ms. Maseko.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me repeat. Thank you for the department to be with us today. Members, welcome. And the community members that may be here, because we have a live feed. And I received only one apology from member Brett Heron. Shumis, is there any other apologies?
No, I haven't received any other apologies, Ms. Maseko.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome, HOD and Minister. Just for the rules of engagement for our virtual meeting, the status quo remain. You raise a hand to be noted. And if it's a point of order also, you can raise a hand whilst there's a speaker on the platform. And we are going today, our agenda is the deliberation of vote 8 in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation COVID-19 Bill 2020-21 financial year B4 2020. Just for the record, let me hear the members that are here. My name is Matlodi Maseko, the chairperson of the Standing Committee. Members, if you can introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon, Chair. It's Derek America.
Andrikus van der Westhuizen, member of the committee.
Thank you, member.
Danville Smith, alternate member.
Thank you, member.
Pet Maran, alternate member.
Thank you, member. It's only the 5 of us.
Chair?
Yes, member Maran.
Yes, Comrade Lily will join us at some stage. I don't see him yet, but in the absence of Comrade Lily, Comrade Denwell Smith have full powers. I remain alternate, and until Comrade Lily arrive, Comrade Denwell, the Honorable Denwell Smith will enjoy full powers until he arrives. I just want to make that one clear.
Okay, member Maran. So it's in between. It's not an apology. It's he might come and join us.
He might come and join us, Chair.
Okay, I don't know how are we going to record that. We'll ask the procedural officer after we are done with the meeting of how do we record he might come as a full member of the committee, but that is not important for today. Let me hand over to the forward with Minister Simas.
But Chair, we agree in his absence that another member has then full responsibility, and that member is the Honourable Denwell Smith.
No, I'm not refusing that. It's just that under normal circumstances, the member is not coming. He sends an apology. If he's going to be late, he sends apology and say, I'll join later. Officially, we didn't receive that. So that is why I acknowledge he might come, because there's no any communication.
Thanks,
so it was just an acknowledgement. Thank you, Member Maran. Over to you, Minister Simas. HOD is Minister here with us. I'm trying to check if he's here. I'm not seeing.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chairperson. Minister, he just sent me a message now, struggling to get in. So I'm not sure if the Secretariat can assist, because Minister asked me to send the link to him, but I am not able to either. So.
Okay. Tafsir, can you help Oshumis?
Ms. Vaseko, I've been trying to send him the link now for the past couple of minutes since we started the meeting. I'm not sure why he's not able to access. Candace is out with me on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, but I'll be assisting in the intro.
Okay, in the meantime, while we are waiting for him, I'll hand over to the HOD if there's any forward that she would want to do. Over to you, HOD.
Chairperson, good afternoon. I'm sorry, I'm also having connectivity problems, so I can't put my video on. We've agreed that Minister Simmers would do the introduction, but since he's still struggling to connect, may I ask, with your permission, that Mr. De Wet presents. We've prepared a presentation just to summarize the appropriation bill, and with your permission, if we can proceed with that, and then when Minister comes online, then he can give his introductory notes or provide his comment or his input.
Okay, thank you very much. Members, what is your take? Are we going to try and wait for Minister for about a minute or two, or should we continue with the presentations?
Honorable Chair, I suggest that we wait for the Minister because the introductory remarks is important towards even the discussions that's going to take place. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Member Smith.
Can we wait until on my watch is now 8 minutes to 5:02? Can we wait till 5:02? 2?
Yeah, Member America, what's your take? Member Andrikas or Member America?
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry. I was just saying that we should continue and get the minister's remarks later. I mean, it's not going to make a material difference in terms of the presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Member van der Westhuizen?
Chair, I think since our colleagues have been so kind to say, let's wait 2 minutes for the minister, I propose that we wait the 2 minutes. I believe this is the last committee meeting for the day, and perhaps some of our honourable members can provide us with some entertainment in the meantime.
Okay. Yeah, the tribe has spoken majority rules, and we will wait for 2 minutes, and then I'll hand over to Member Maran with a monotony breaker.
Madam Chair, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Oh, Minister has joined.
Hurrah, hurrah.
Minister Simmers, you just cut off a very good entertainment from Member Maran, but we'll get it some other day. Over to you, Minister, for the introductory remarks. I'm sorry about the connections.
Okay, no problem, Madam Chair. I'll be brief. First of all, thank you for waiting 2 minutes for me. Madam Chair, prior to me handing over to my CFO to do our presentation for you, it should be noted that the special adjustment budget, which is COVID-19 focused, will also see our department's contribution to our provincial government's fight against the COVID-19. But also, we should also take note that on a national level, our budget has further been cut by over 200 million, thus having a clear impact on our service delivery capacity across the province. And with that in mind, I just want you and the members to keep that in mind. as you deliberate on the way further. Thank you, Madam Chair.
It's one of my favorite CFOs. Over to you, Mr. Ndebele.
Good afternoon, Chairperson and honourable members. I just want to bring the presentation on. Ajay, can all of you see it? Is the presentation on?
Yes, it's on.
Thank you. Can I proceed, Chairperson?
Yes, you may.
Chairperson, right, this is our allocation letter as received from the Provincial Treasury as endorsed by the Provincial Cabinet. Minister highlighted that we have been cut by the National Department, like all other provincial departments. We had to, they cut us by 202 million rand on the Human Settlement Development Grant, and on the title deed restoration grant, they cut us by 44 million rand. That was all part of the first 130 billion rand relief out of the 500 billion rand relief that the President announced. So that is only in respect of the 2020-21 financial year. We might expect some on the outer years, but we are not dealing with the outer years now. This is just this year. Then from the province, we received 33 million rand to assist us on dealing with the COVID-19 pressures. And that money comes from all the savings that they realized through a process that they did. We had a technical meeting with the Provincial Treasury, whereby we state our case, and they found it good to allocate 33 million rand to us, and that will be in terms of for property rights and taxes and security measures. That was all part affected by the COVID-19 lockdown. Then from our side as a department, we also identified some savings that we surrendered back to the Provincial Revenue Fund, and that amount is 13 million rand. So the total cut that we had then is 226,747,000 rand. I've indicated that our cut was cut by 202 million rand, and that was on top of a cut of 129 million rand that we had in January. And we're currently busy with the reprioritization of our business plan. Right, okay, there's also other pressures like the fixing of the vandalized dwellings and compensation events and claims due to COVID-19 regulations. That, and together with some security costs, make another 150 million or so that is not available anymore for delivery. And then go with that is our operational cut. Our budget's been cut by 10 million rand. That is 5% of the cut of 202 million rand. And we received some money to help get us over that cut from the Provincial Treasury. Just as a snapshot, the cut and what it was dealt with, and the HSDG, the grant, we will have a loss in housing opportunities, and some projects will be delayed or postponed, or either removed from the business plan for later implementation. And that might also lead then to community unrest, protests, vandalism, and illegal land occupation, etc., because the delivery is not going to be there. The title deed restoration grant, right, there will not be any impact on that cut, as we had sufficient funds transferred to us in the past, and the money is with the municipalities and been allocated to projects and getting those title deeds. So there's very little impact on that side. Yeah, we've got just a little slide just to say what happened in January. A total of 553 million rand over the MTEF. At this 202, then we've got 755 million rand that has been cut over the MTEF, and that is a huge amount of money. We indicated that we also identified some savings, and the biggest one is on compensation of employees, mostly due to recruitment processes that we didn't that wasn't concluded or didn't start with due to the lockdown, but that's also made us a bit more informed. But maybe some of those positions are not necessary, and we are really looking how we're going to do things in the future, because compensation of employees is one of the biggest cost drivers in government. And this COVID-19 let us really do things differently, and a lot of projects is implemented that might assist us to have less employees. Consumables, operating leases, that is, for instance, your photostat machines, travel and subsistence, people had to stay at home or not travel, projects were closed down, and in various facilities we didn't meet with the people due to, in big numbers, due to the lockdown and regulations. But there was also some additional cost. Audit fees will increase by 500,000 Rand. When we had our initial budget for audit fees, it came out a little bit less, and the final budget that the AG gave us after COVID is 500,000 Rand more. Bursaries, 178,000 Rand more. More people asked for bursaries and qualified, our staff, and we're investing in them. Legal costs increased by 609,000 Rand. Then we also had a little bit of during the lockdown, there was some emergency repairs that we had to do on some of our units, and an additional 120,000 Rand we allocate to that. And fleet services increased by 194,000 Rand. A lot of people driving with their own vehicles, so we are not using the GG fleet as we would have loved to, but there is a fixed price anyway, so the additional cost is 194,000 Rand. Then anti-land invasion, community unrest, 20 million Rand. That amount will be much higher after the last couple of weeks of what's happening currently. That will become more or less 100 million Rand. Then municipal services, 10 million Rand, and rates and taxes. That was due to the deeds office being closed, and we had a lot of units that was ready for transfer that we couldn't transfer, but now things are starting getting back to the old normal, and the deeds office are open. 41 million Rand, but as indicated, we've got 33 million Rand from Treasury and the provincial government. So the 8 million Rand that's shortfall that we will, through further prioritization, we will make that up. As indicated, with a reduced budget, we have to reprioritize our business plan. We are busy with it. We submitted a draft to the National Department. They're busy assessing it. And just the impact of this 200 million Rand cut is, if we just would have done sites, it would have been 4,000 sites that we can't do. If we, this also equates to 1,600 top structures, or a combination of the above, say 2,000 sites and 800 tops or whatever. But that is the impact. That excludes the impact of additional costs that we have to pay in terms of vandalism, land invasions, and security, etc. Our projects should be aligned to COVID-19 interventions also for the long term. And one of the projects that we're doing to do that is the de-densification and the upgrade of informal settlements has become a much more serious and program that needs to be done. And that is from my side on what we are doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, HOD, not HOD, CFO. I'm going to open for the questions, but before that, is the HOD want to add something to the presentation?
Thank you, Chairperson, and thank you to my CFO. No, I think we've covered everything, and if the members have questions, we will address it as such. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to now go to the members. Member van der Westhuizen, I think I saw your hand first.
Thank you, Chair. And
you can
thank you
go on.
Yes, and thank you for the presentation. I must say it is a very sad budget to look at. And, you know, we've seen the pressure on especially our bigger towns and cities to build houses, and we've seen the growing backlogs and waiting lists in housing. And now to see a 1,600 house equivalent in terms of cutbacks, it's really bad news. On the other hand, I'm grateful for the fact that the title deeds can hopefully still be transferred as per plan. And I just do hope that the deeds office will now work very hard to catch up with the backlog that COVID-19 and their closure has caused. The irony of this is just that we are in a spiral, whereas the higher the frustration levels, the higher the land invasions and vandalism, and the higher the costs of us trying to manage those. And I think we actually need a public awareness campaign of what this is costing us, and that this lawlessness is really hampering us. But it seems to me the department had really no choice but to make these cutbacks. Now my question is just, how can we now use the time to prepare the Western Cape better for the future, and hopefully for future increases in the budgets for human settlements again? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Member. I recognize Member Smith.
Yes, Chair. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I would have loved to, for perhaps the adjusted business plan to be presented here, so that one can see which areas have been affected and which areas have not been affected, because there is an expectation at municipal level that funding will be released for projects that are basically ready, especially for your top structures. Now, Chair, I would agree with Member van der Westhuizen. This thing will cause community chaos. You would see that in municipalities, municipalities are so ready for the implementation of the top structures, and yet it's either they received very little funding, and that little funding has also been taken away, where services has been put in, electricity is in, roads is there, everything is there. It's only for the top structures to be constructed in those municipalities. Now, my question to this committee and to the HOD and the minister is, as a possible intervention or so, is there no way that the minister can focus on those sites that are pretty much ready, that has been there ready for the last 2 or 3 years, and that has been waiting for this budget for a possible implementation of top structures? Is there no way that the minister can ensure that those sites receive some funding and that at least we are in a position to say, even if we don't have to, there's perhaps 300 sites ready. Let's just do 50 for now. Top structures I'm talking about, and other than to just cut the budget totally and have these municipalities wait for another year for funding for 50 sites or so. I'm raising this in the light of the fact that we are going to a local government election next year, and we don't want a situation where land will be invaded, because that's the new norm in the Western Cape lately, that people just go and put up structures, and if you don't remove those structures into 48 hours time, you would have to go through a court process, which is also going to take very long, and there's all these protests and fighting and vandalism and all of these things are happening while the municipality or the department goes to the court to have people evicted for illegal setup of structures. So it's something that the minister will have to manage in the department. It's fine to cut budgets. We understand that our situation is not very good at the moment, but there is sites in municipalities that are much more ready than other sites in other municipalities where water needs to be sorted out first, the water infrastructure and wastewater and whatever. Water project still needs to be finalized in other areas. So I'm saying that there must be a focus on sites that are like 90%, 95% ready for implementation for top structures, so that the minister can just intervene and say, look, let's just go and do this sites for the following 6 months or so and allocate money to those areas. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Member Andrikas, if you can try to switch off your video, because there is the feed becomes so challenged as we go on. Member Maran, over to you.
Chair, thanks. Chair, I also got a couple of questions, but the first one's to check and make sure whether what I've heard, because I've not seen it it was there, but the moment I looked, it disappears. The 202 million rand and the impact it had, and I think it was saying, is it 4,000 sites? I just want to check, and then also 1,600 top structures. The impact that a reduced budget of 200 and the 202 million rand that is going to have on the Western Cape. I just want to check whether this was the response. The impact is 4,000 sites and 1,600 top structures.
Thank you very much, Member Maran.
I'm not finished. I just want to check before I continue with my question.
No, they will answer you. Continue with the question. They've noted that. Then continue, as if what you are thinking is the right information.
Yes, Chair. Then if that's the case, Chair, then I'm really worried, because 4,000 sites, it's a lot, but only 1,600 top structures.
Okay, sorry, Member Maran. I think the CFO has raised his hand. Mr. Divet.
Thank you, Chairperson. Just to give clarity, for 202 million rand, we can do 4,000 sites, or we can do 1,600 top structures, or a combination of the above. So it might be, say, we lose 2,000 sites and 800 top structures, but we can buy 4,000 sites or 1,600 tops. Right.
Okay.
Okay. That's what we can do with those type of monies. I understand, but when the money is there, then it don't happen. For instance, Chair, the city of Cape Town, and I also want to check if we speak about a reduced budget, 202 million rand on top of 120 million rand. Now we know, for instance, I think it was at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, a number of municipalities failed to spend their USD grants. I remember, for instance, when it comes to Brede Valley Municipality, they sent back 80 million rand. Not so long ago, the city of Cape Town, I think, and I stand to be corrected, sent back in the mayor when he was basically summoned by the National Portfolio Committee of Human Settlements, basically said that 95 million rand, if I'm not mistaken, will be sent back. They could not have spent it, Chair. So it's worrying when we are saying we got a reduced budget. Reduced budget seems that it's just money that's been taken away. But in the meantime, it seems it's also monies that municipalities won't be able to spend or to build houses for communities. Chair, I just wanted to check. And if you look, for instance, Chair, the land grabs, on the issue of land grabs, most of these land grabs happens in the city of Cape Town. And then the question arises that when is
you can go on, member. Is there a point of order? Member America, I heard your voice. Okay, Member Maran.
Yeah, no, he was saying, Che was saying that these land invasions is orchestrated. It might be true, it might not be true, I don't know. He will have, if he said it's orchestrated, he needs to give evidence to that. Che, so even if it's orchestrated, there's clear proof that the city is unable to spend its UID grants. The Honorable Brede Heron, basically earlier this year or even last year, said when he was in the city of Cape Town, there was some amount of 400 million rand that lies with the city that was not being spent. And the then HOD was saying, but they are in a process to recoup that money, to get it back from the city. So there's a trend of not spending monies that's been made available by National Treasury. And then we want to come and say, but our money has been reduced, National have taken our money and so forth. But it's ourselves who could not spend the monies, Chair. So let me stop there.
Thank you very much, Member Maran. I think on the issue of the USDG, the most important thing from members is to acknowledge that there are some grants that comes from national directly to the municipalities for them to implement the project. Like the one that you're talking about, it doesn't come through the province. It goes direct to the city for them to use that money. I think maybe as we continue, we can see if we can hold them accountable to ask why is it difficult. Maybe there is a loophole somewhere in the system that we have to look at. But I know with the budget of the USDG doesn't come to the province for the municipalities, all municipalities to use it. The city, it implements its own projects, some of its own projects, and USDG comes direct from national to it. But the department will answer. Member America, take the last bite before I hand over to the department.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, as my colleague earlier indicated, that it is a very difficult choice that one has to make if one is confronted with such huge cuts in your budget. So I'd have liked to have, if the information is available, to know where those cuts will take place, which projects will be discontinued or be, or which municipalities will be affected. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to hand over to HOD. I'm handing over to the CFO or to you.
Chairperson, if I may just respond. May I continue, Chairperson?
Yes, you may continue, HOD.
I just want to respond to and confirm your response regarding the USDG. This budget that we're presenting, the Adjustment Appropriation Bill, is just for the Human Settlements Development Grant, so it's not for the USDG. And the budget cuts that we refer to is just for our HSDG that is managed by our provincial department. And then with reference to Member Moran's question regarding the number of the impact of the budget cut, both the January cut of 129 million and now the June cut of 202 million, we've calculated just the 202 million. So that impact of number of sites and tops is just for the 202 million. But we also had to cut on our non-financial deliverables, even in the January, or when we submitted our first or our budget and business plan for 2021, which was submitted in Feb, we've also indicated also had to make a cut in the deliverables. And then with reference to Member Smith's question on the business plan, we're just tabling the budget now and sketching the implications, but we had to submit a revised business plan to National Department of Human Settlements. It's currently being assessed. It has not been approved yet, so we're not at liberty to share it yet, either with the committee or the municipalities yet, because we still have to go through some reviews if needed or if required from National Department. But the way we draft our business plan is we look at projects that's ready for implementation. And I can safely say that at the start of this year, when we were busy finalizing our business plan for 2021, we were already about 100 million over our budget, and we had to cut on the current budget that we had. So we have projects in the pipeline, projects that's currently ready for implementation, even as early as January, which we were not able to fund due to limited budget. So now, again, we reviewed it, and there were added requirements from National Department where we had to allocate funding for COVID-19 related interventions, including informal settlement upgrade. So there was already a redirection of our current HSDG grant to some of those projects which were not necessarily part of the initial business plan for 2021. So I just want to confirm and assure the members that we do look at projects that's ready for implementation, particularly those projects where contractors have already been allocated or are on site already, because those are the projects we believe we may be able to move forward faster if there are no other interferences like community dynamics. Thank you. So I'm not sure if Francois has any other input to make, Chairperson. Thank you.
CFO?
Chairperson, I just want to say something on those, on Breeder Valley, the 80 million. That was a technical thing. Remember, we implement TransX. So there was a total allocation to Breeder Valley for 110 million rand. That included the 80 million rand to be spent by the province there. So Breeder Valley didn't lose that money. It's just a technical adjustment that we did in the adjustments budget last year. So and on the City of Cape Town, we heard what the committee said. The committee said, go fetch your money that's lying with the municipalities. Now, City of Cape Town now currently has only 13 million rand in their coffers that was not spent on projects. Remember, we pay over to them in terms of a payment schedule. They are credited level 2, and they manage their funds from that way. They also had the problem how they allocated their money. They allocated it against a beneficiary's name, and then they couldn't take it away. But that was dealt with, and therefore we could release some of that funding. The City of Cape Town we've been allocating them less money and say, right, okay, first use the money that you've got. And that's what they've done. And they've actually done very well in the past financial year. So I think that is done with. Then our minister asked us, and we identified we cannot be solely reliant on the HSDG. So we are busy with a project with the Provincial Treasury whereby we try to establish a revolving fund whereby all revenue that is comes to human settlements will go into the fund, and that will then augment the HSDG. But the minister can elaborate on that specific one. But we cannot be just reliant on one funding source. Otherwise, it's too risky. Thank you.
Thank you, CFO. I think Minister was saying is going to leave a little bit earlier because of the land invasion. Is he still in the meeting?
Chair, I'm still here. I'm just logged in with Pilar's credentials.
Okay, okay. Would you want to respond before you leave us?
Yes, please, Chair, if I may, and thank you for the opportunity. Chair, I've listened tentatively to all the members' inputs, and I'm happy that they concur with my sentiment that the budgetary cuts so close to a local government election has got a possible impact of causing a bit of community unrest if it's not dealt with properly and effectively, and there's clear communication from our department side and also through our members in the legislature, more specifically those members present as part of the standing committee. And hence, you will note that we will be embarking on district-wide visits. We've started in the Garden Route. We're about to embark in the Overberg. Next on our radar is the West Coast to engage not only our councillors, but also we're going to invite the standing committee members, Madam Chair, but also to talk more about where we are heading, because with this major budget cuts, 2 in 1 specific year, it's a clear sign that business as usual is no more. We're going to start looking at augmenting our funding streams, obviously focusing on the revisit of how we formally utilize the revolving fund facility known as the Western Cape Housing Development Fund. It's just dormant, which means we can still reactivate it. And I think at an appropriate time, once we've concluded our discussions with Provincial Treasury, we are at an advanced stage of how we are going to do that, Madam Chair, that we will inform the Standing Committee and to do a detailed presentation of what we are going to do, because all municipalities will be able to benefit from that, but also there's also key responsibility from those specific municipalities to assist us in certain regards as well. But the days of old are gone, Madam Chair. And this adjustment budget proves that. But where others are down and out, there's an opportunity for us to reborn the way that human settlements works in the Western Cape. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Minister. I see HOD's hand has been raised. HOD?
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm not sure if we responded to the comment made about the USDG and whether we've asked for the funding. We have formally, in writing, requested to National Department last year with the appropriate budget, the adjustment budget process in November last year, and we've requested that the USDG be converted to HSDG so we can incorporate it and utilize it still within the metro even. But that request was turned down or rejected by National Department of Human Settlements.
Okay, thank you very much. If I may ask HOD, what were the reasons for them to decline the request?
Chairperson, it's a different budgetary framework, and that was partly the reason. The USDG fund is a fund administered by National Treasury together with Human Settlements, and that was a joint decision from them. Okay. So, and it was then reappropriated to other metros and other areas. So the USDG funding is not a fund that can automatically be converted to the HSDG fund because there's specific conditions for the use of that fund.
Okay, thank you very much. But it's a little bit concerned that I think it's been 3 consecutive years, if not 4, that the USDG in the city, they couldn't spend it. They had to return the money again and again. That means the policy itself is not working. We have to look at that. Or maybe when you are in the min-mac, something has to happen differently. Because it can be there's a money allocated that automatically National knows that it's not going to be used in the city. Member Maran and Member Smith, I see you are really dancing up and down for my attention. Member Maran?
Chair, thanks. Look, Chair, just on the responses and the one of Brede Valley and the 80 million plus sent back last year. And the response was it was a technical error, but the municipality is not losing its money. I'm not sure how it works. In the main appropriation, Brede Valley have received now just over 70 million rand. So it's a couple of millions less than the 82 million rand. But also, Chair, if we have dealt with the issue of top structures or what was supposed to be done in that particular project, Transact, Chair, the money of this year could have been used for other projects. So other projects now will have to wait until we have dealt. Almost the whole amount, the whole budget, Chair, for Brede Valley will be used on one project. And that is Transact. And I remember the response from the HOD when we questioned that particular approach and why not build houses because there's 1,000 service plots already in the dwellings. And I remember the response about the opportunities, economic opportunities that will present them in that particular project and so forth. I remember what the response was. So that's basically on that one, Chair. There was another one, but let me leave it there.
Okay. Member Smith, you've got my attention.
Yes. Yes, thank you for your attention, Chair. You've been very kind today.
I know.
Chair, just perhaps, I don't know if the minister is gone now, but maybe the HOD or the CFO can respond. I know in the past there used to be an arrangement, I don't know whether it was legal or illegal, where implementing agents managed to finish a project with or without the permission or approval of the provincial department. Now that I also know became problematic because some of the implementing agents took advantage of that space to go and finish a project, and then monies that is allocated to that particular municipality must just go to that implementing agent for 2 or 3 outer years, and you never get to your next site, basically. So I understand that. The question is, can that process also be activated and regulated by the department, perhaps, just to speed up some projects? Should a implementing agent and a municipality have an understanding and are ready to do this, instead of waiting for little bits and pieces from the department each and every year, where you could have finished a project with that understanding? As I said, it should be managed by the department, and nothing should happen without the consent of the department. Is such a process possible? Yes, thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. HOD?
Chairperson, thank you, and thank you to Member Maran for that question. From our side, we have to list the projects on our business plan, and we have to indicate the budgetary allocation to a project. And I've spoken earlier about how projects are identified on the business plan. And so we inform the municipality of the allocation and which projects are then listed, or the budgetary allocation to the municipality, to the project per municipality. So that is the way we allocate our funding. The implementation, that's a different aspect. We also have criteria, 30% HDI and other criteria to meet some equity targets as well. But the implementation is in most cases the responsibility of the municipalities and how they select to contract whatever form of implementation, whether it's through a contractor and implementing agent. So that is how we deal with it. Through you, Chairperson, maybe the CFO can add some information, or Ms. Maisela as well, on how we deal with the implementation stage of the projects.
Okay, we have to wrap up in about 3 minutes. So between CFO and Ms. Maisela, make me proud. CFO?
Chairperson, thank you. I would have loved to hear Mrs. Maisela's voice, but
I agree.
That might have been an issue in the past, about 10 years ago. Okay, where implementing agents, they actually like they go on, they build on the risk, and then afterwards they will take the increased subsidy amount and sell between brackets of aanhalingstekens those units to the department. That doesn't happen anymore. There's a whole process. Everything goes through the business planning process and so on. And that I can assure you that will not happen and cannot happen anymore, because that would be a huge risk for anybody to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe last one from me. I mean, we have seen the sewage system of Citrusdal in Cedarburg been going on for years, and I saw there's an allocation again from Treasury for, I think it's 10 million. Until when is that going to be funded? And maybe if we can get the information later of how much so far has been spent on that sewage system. Why was it one of the projects that had to be given money again and again while there is cuts on some other projects? CFO?
Chairperson, we only gave them, I think it was 14.5 million or 16 million in total. That was our contribution towards to unlock that housing project, and the rest of the money was going to come from the MIC. That never materialized. Then I think they applied by RBIC as well, and our money could be used as a counter funding for that. So we haven't spent anything else after that initial contribution that we made to them on that box. And I hope we can wrap that thing up, but they must get the money from the National Treasury via the RBIC or MIC. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maisela, over to you.
Thanks, Chairperson. Good afternoon, members. Just to confirm that we received a letter from the municipality stating that they've got an amount of 11.1 million allocated towards their bulk infrastructure. So that will enable them to complete that project in this financial year, provided they don't experience any delays in terms of construction. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. Thank you very much. Members, Member van der Westhuizen, are you covered?
Indeed, thank you.
Member America?
For sure, Chair. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I think, members, one of the difficult portfolios is human settlements. And personally, I feel we have to move one day in the time that we'll get people doing for the jobs, not for free housing, so that they can be able to build the houses that they will appreciate. But it's in the future as it goes now. For now, it's fighting for the land invasion and not for the jobs. Another story for another day. HOD and Minister, if you're still here in the department, thank you very much. I think we welcome the explanation for the adjusted money or the budget cut, which I don't think we welcome that much, but it's what it is. It's COVID-19. There's nothing we can do. Thank you very much, guys. And you can now leave us, and members, you can stay so that we can round up the business of the day.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shumis? We are in your
I think we need to find out if there's any members of the public that would like to have an input.
Okay, sorry. Is there any member of the public who wants to do an input? Did you get any notice?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Is there any member of the public who would want to make any input? Going once?
Okay.
Pardon?
No, if not, then we can continue.
Okay, going once, twice, thrice, gone. Can you put on the screen our report so that we can adopt our report? Thank you very much, members. Also in this committee, we see our report of the Standing Committee on Human Settlements on Vote 8, Human Settlements, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustment Appropriation COVID-19 Bill 2020-21 financial year, B4 2020, dated the 27th July 2020 as follows. The Standing Committee on Human Settlements, having deliberated on the subject of Vote 8, Human Settlements, in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation COVID-19 Bill 2020-21 financial year B4 2020, report to the committee in accordance with the Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote or does not support the vote. Members, I recognize Honorable America.
Chair, I propose that we, this committee, support the vote number 8. Thank you.
Thank you very much, member. I recognize Honorable van der Westhuizen.
Honorable Chair, I would like to also support that view and that we adopt the report with the word that it supports the vote. And since all members spoke in favor of the vote, I propose that that be the decision of this committee.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. You are kind. Member Maran, I see your hand.
Yes, Chair. I can speak for myself. Look, Chair, it's difficult to support the vote when you get a response that we don't, the information which projects will be cut is not available yet. We know that the MEC got its own 7 priority projects. So we are not sure, Chair. So in the absence of that, Chair, we will go with a minority view not to support, in line with Section 19 of the Standing Rules, and that to be captured within the report.
Thank you very much, member. Shumis, you have removed that. Okay, you can edit so that we can report it as it is so that we can adopt it.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay. Let's wait for our procedural officer to add the minority view so that we adopt it with all information as said in the committee. Member Smith?
Chair, I'm here. What's happening?
Whilst the procedural officer is typing the minority view, I'm interested to know which projects are you really concerned that is not moving forward? Where's the place?
Chair, I am with Member Maran on this one. We cannot support a vote that our people is not going to get houses from. So it's very easy, Chair.
No, that one, it will be noted and it will be debated. I'm asking specifically about your questions are direct about the certain projects that you feel in the certain municipality that everything is ready. They're just waiting for the department to allocate funding. Where is that place, Honorable Member?
I'm referring to one of many, but I can only mention one, and that is Vredendal, Noord, and also Lutzville in Matsikama. That's been ready the last 2 years. Contracting is on site, and there's the Dorings coming through. There's Lambert's Bay on the other end. There's Citrusdal in the pipeline. Where you come from, Chair. Citrusdal, where you come from, Chairperson. So it's all of those places that are ready for implementation. And I mean, there's just unacceptable to see that the department is unable to have an arrangement and finish those projects.
Yeah, that's I'm saying it's one of the debates of how much do we receive in the province for the housing projects, and for who are we building the houses? Because that is why I was saying that, you know, it's high time that we talk about the job creation for people to be able to build themselves houses, because of, as it stands now, that means we are not going to be able to afford to build houses for 600,000 people. But we can push to reduce that number in half in creating jobs so that those people can be able to build houses for themselves. So we need to have a certain age group that is say, well, you know, for this age group, let's try to do that. Shamis, are we winning?
Give me a second. I'm just looking for I can't seem to find my standing rules. I'm doing a search for it quickly.
Rule 90.
Johan?
Rule 90.
Johan?
Yes, I'm looking for the actual standing rules so I can type it in.
It's a one-liner.
Okay. Sorry, before anyone
I'll just type it in.
Can I? Is it now section rule 90?
Yeah, is it section 90?
I do have it in front of me, Chair. Can I read?
Okay. Yeah.
Right, minority views, rule 90. It is not competent for a committee to present a minority report, but any minority view must, at the request of the members constituting the minority, be reflected in the committee's report. That's how the section reads, Chair.
Okay. Johan Vermeulen, sorry, just a little bit, Member Maran. Johan?
Yes, Mala, ma'am.
Okay.
Shamis?
Yeah.
Can you just give me control quickly? I just want to add the sentence here. I'm
Okay.
requesting control here. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Let me just see here.
Seems to me the Western Cape Department of Human Settlements must be reminded of the Freedom Charter.
Why, member? Why, member?
We cannot shift the responsibility of building houses by government to the people. There's no point in shifting that if there's no money. Government must build houses for the people.
Please tell that to your colleagues in central government and not to cut money from housing, which is such a dire need. Let them give that back the money that they've stolen, and then let's build houses.
But Honorable Andricus,
Honorable
we are blaming
Andricus.
it now on national government. But at the same time, for instance, here the city have failed to spend 95 million rand USD grant. Do we blame that on national government?
They haven't stolen it.
No, leave it. It's supposed to build houses for our people.
No,
Leave
it's
the
not
stuff.
for the it's for the infrastructure. It's not for the houses.
I will
The money
send the
was for the
committee.
infrastructure.
I will send the committee a report of the Freedom Charter.
Chair, if your argument is that we should do more infrastructure so that people can build houses for themselves.
Okay.
We failed to spend 95 million rand to service the infrastructure.
Okay, so the infrastructure, the most important part of it is for the economic development, because it unlocks economic development for the jobs. Okay, members, back to the committee. Here it is. Let me read it as it stands.
Yes.
Report of the Standing Committee on Human Settlements on Vote 8 Human Settlements in the schedule of the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation COVID-19 Bill 2020-21 financial year B4 2020 dated 27 July 2020 as follows. The Standing Committee on Human Settlements, having deliberated on the subject of Vote 8 Human Settlements in the schedule to the Western Cape Adjustments Appropriation COVID-19 Bill 2020-21 financial year B4 2020, referred to the committee in accordance with the Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. In accordance with the Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed its minority view not to support the vote. As the report stands, members, can I get one who support the report as it stands? Honorable America.
Thank you, Chair. As the report stands in terms of what is in front of us, I'd like to express my support for vote 8. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Member Smith, I recognize your hand.
No, Chair. I'm in agreement with the report. I just wanted to mention that we are asking for the amended business plan as per the information that the business plan is still with National Department. So can we get a copy of that plan as soon as the department receives it back, Chair? Thank you.
Okay, members, seconder is Member Smith. So for the report, we take the report is adopted. And as for the resolutions of the business plan, I think it's quite different departments, that portfolios that we have asked, also in local government, human settlement, and we will definitely do that from different portfolios. Member, we'll keep tab until when will they be finished, and then that will come back to the standing committee. I think as they do their quarterly reports, we will get that. Members, in front of us, we have the minutes of this So can we summarize? I don't want to have the meeting just to adopt the minutes. So we might as well as we adopted the report and also adopt the minutes of this meeting. It's in front of you.
Chair, where's the page? Where's the first page, Chair?
Okay, Shamis, the most important thing is to show member Maran that is on the register. So go up, he wants to see his name. That's the most important part of our minutes, when member Maran sees his name. Can you move it for him to see there we go. Member Maran?
No, Chair, as I've said earlier on, that the Honourable Denville Smith got full powers, and therefore I cannot, although I was present in that meeting, I cannot propose.
Yeah, there you are as an additional member, and Member Smith as an alternate member.
Yes,
so you are present, member.
Chair, could I just ask a question? Sorry, if was it on the agenda that we were going to adopt this minutes of this meeting today?
Usually in human settlements, after we finish summer, we adopt the minutes, and then we don't have to call the meeting just to adopt the minutes. I've been doing that practice all the time, Chair. Is it out of order? Yes,
Chairperson?
member.
Yes, no, I just wanted to check, man. I see member Lily is present. He's been present for quite some time now in the meeting. So do I still enjoy full powers as an alternate member?
No, I haven't seen member Lily in the meeting.
Chair, you must check, please, for the record. Thank you.
We'll check for the record. So can we adopt the minutes and so that we can end with the meeting? Is there any correction that you want to see? Go down to the resolutions, Shamis.
Wait a minute, Mr. Seko, just give me 1 second. I'm checking here for member Lily, but I don't see him as being in the meeting.
Yeah, go to the resolutions. We will have to go back to the records to see from what time until what time. We can't do it now.
So the one resolution that I've picked up is that the committee requested that the department provide the committee with the national, I'm not sure I'll get the correct wording, if it's the national, but
no, it's the new business plan.
The new business plan.
Yeah, their new business plan.
From national. From the national department of.
No, it's the new business plan is a new or the adjusted APP. So it doesn't come. Member Smith?
Chair, I'm a bit confused.
Yeah. What Member Smith?
In front of us now is the resolutions taken by this meeting that we are currently in.
Yeah.
Yes, member.
And the minutes?
Is the minutes, so we are writing the minutes to it. Member Smith, you were saying that you wanted us to get the new business plan, amended business plan.
Yes, as per the budget cuts, yes.
Okay, so Shamis is the amended business plan. Okay, can we adopt the minutes as we see it?
Ms. Maseko, unfortunately, because there's still things that I need to fix on this minutes, we're basically just adopting the resolutions, but not the entire minutes in its entirety. The only minutes that we can adopt today is the minutes of the previous meeting.
Yeah, that was on the agenda.
Chair, tell me, will there be a meeting tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes, there's going to be
Isn't
a meeting.
that meeting going to deal with the minutes of today's meeting? That's my understanding.
Then we can do that. We can do all the minutes tomorrow then, Shumis. So as for now, we adopted the report. And members, thank you very much. And the meeting is adjourned.
Thanks very much, Chair. Bye-bye, Andrikus.